You know, it's really amazing what Uber and Lyft have created here. And there are, millions and millions of rides going on all over the world. What makes this work is a relationship between drivers and passengers. And unfortunately, the relationship is not equal. And many drivers feel vulnerable as a result. We, the drivers, we have to do a background check. We, the drivers, have to go through some training. Passengers don't have to do any of that. We don't know who's getting into our car. And there are three specific situations that I want to address on this video. One is physical violence. The second one is unwanted sexual attention. And the third is verbal abuse, specifically discrimination. And these are things that happen all the time. So I'm going to address those. I'm going to share with you what you can do, and stick around because I'm going to share at the end of the video the number one tool you can put in your car to protect you at all times. All that and more coming up. Hey everybody, it's Jay Crater with the RideShare Guy, drinking my coffee this morning. So by way of background, one of the biggest issues rideshare drivers face is their lack of control over their passengers, right? Someone gets in our car, they could sit right behind us. We don't know what they're doing. They can say things, anything they want, and there's really not much we can do about it, but there is. And I'm going to cover that in this video. So let's jump into number one of three areas where drivers feel the most vulnerable. So number one, physical safety, right? You're concerned about violence, about being struck in some way. And I certainly feel this because, someone gets in my car, they're sitting behind me. Even if they're sitting, where I can see them in the rearview mirror, I can't see their hands. Particularly my spidey senses get heightened when there's a couple of people in my back seat. So what can you do? So what I do is first, before they even get into my car, I kind of check them out. And I want to make sure they look like solid citizens. If I see somebody staggering, walking towards my car, drunk people are more inclined to be violent. They're more inclined to be very loud. I will drive away. Just the other day, I went to a casino and the security guard waved at me like, wait. And he came out with this big guy and he actually came to my door. And then the big guy wanted to go to his car, which was in the parking lot. So I watched them walk over. And then I started to think, all these alarms started to go off. Like, why is the security guard putting him in my car? Why isn't this guy driving himself? And it just didn't add up to me. So I just, canceled the ride and drove away. So that's probably the most important thing you can do is sort of suss out your passengers before they actually even get into your car. The other thing you can do is stay out of neighborhoods where you're inclined to be attacked. So in San Francisco, that area is called the Tenderloin. And I just drove through one day in my Toyota Prius, and some guy just walked up and just kicked my door. So I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. So you want to be aware of your areas where there could be violence. I really haven't come across any place like that in Sacramento, but certainly in San Francisco, I would be very leery of accepting rides that would take me into the Tenderloin. So you got to know where you're at, where you're going, who's getting into your car, because once they're in your car, then you're kind of stuck with them. Okay, number two, physical safety, sexual aggression, and assault. So this was particularly applicable to female drivers. I'm a 6'3", 63-year-old guy, so I don't get much sexual attention. I have gotten a little bit from men and women, but very little. I can imagine if I were a 30 or 40-year-old woman driving in my car, the amount of abuse that would come my way. So what can you do about it? Well, you can't really tell who's going to be, talking like that when they get into your car. So they're in your car. What are you going to do? So this is the most valuable tool that you can have in your car to deter this kind of behavior. And it's called a dash cam. So what you're seeing here is the dash cam that the RideShare Guy recommends. And as you can see, you can buy it on Amazon for $260, which may seem like a lot, but for your personal safety, totally worth it. And there are some lesser expensive ones as well. But what happens is somebody sees that, they're going to be on their best behavior because they know everything is being recorded. So if you were my daughter and my daughter was going to go driving, this would go in her car. No question about it, right? So that's one thing. The other thing you can absolutely do is carry around some pepper spray, which, if anyone got handsy with you, pepper spray in the eyes will definitely slow them down. Pull over and call 911, right? And just recently, Uber announced, it says Uber launches new safety feature in Denver Metro. RideShare company is now offering an added safety feature for riders and drivers in the Denver Metro. Uber announced its implementation of the audio recording option in the app. So you could actually just push a button or two on the app anytime you felt like you wanted to have something recorded. And this way you had some documentation if somebody was speaking to you in an inappropriate way. So there's lots of tools, and you need to use those tools if you feel unsafe as a driver. Number 3 is verbal abuse, insults, and racism. So here again, some people are just stupid and ignorant. Drunk people tend to be more free with words that aren't appropriate. Here again, the dash cam is going to be a big help. And just kind of letting them know right off the bat, if you hear an insult, that's not going to be acceptable in this car. And you have every right to stop, pull over, get out of your car, and dial 911. So now this is a really interesting article, and this is actually what spurred me to want to do this video. It says Uber and Lyft drivers are facing discrimination from customers and getting banned from the apps. So what's happening is they're getting discriminated against. They're reporting it, but the passengers are saying that the driver was insulting to them, and they're taking the passenger's side. Well, how do they know who to believe, I guess? So, it's really a screwed up situation. And if you need to, and you can record what is being said, then you have proof. That's why the dash cam is so important. That's why the feature that I mentioned in Denver that's being offered by Uber, these are ways that you can record conversations, and that way you have proof, and you won't have to lose your revenue stream. So what are the key takeaways here? Well, I would say the key takeaway is get a dash cam, because that way every ride is recorded. It serves as a deterrent, and it also serves as proof of what happened in your car. So that's my number one recommendation. We are vulnerable as drivers. That's just part of the job. If you feel super unsafe, you probably shouldn't be driving. I never really feel unsafe in my car, but again, I'm a big guy and I know how to handle myself. And if that's not you, and you do feel super, it's causing you a lot of stress, then this probably isn't the right job for you. Time to move on. Okay, so these are kind of tough topics to cover, but I think it's important that we understand the situation we're in. We can't just ignore it, and you got to be prepared. And having a dash cam in your car prepares you. Having pepper spray in your car prepares you. Knowing what to say if somebody says something which you find offensive prepares you. So those are the things you can do, because if you're prepared, then you're going to take smart actions to resolve the situation. All right, I want to thank you very much for watching the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet to our YouTube channel, subscribe, join us. Our whole mission is to bring you content which allows you to make more money in less time, and in this case, to stay safe while you're doing it. You go out and have a great day. Go tell someone you love them. Be safe out there.